Cinema Classics is sponsored by WCBE 90.5 FM. Cinema Classics is sponsored by WCBE 90.5 FM Columbus, Ohio. Produced by John DeSando, Cinema Classics can be heard online at WCBE.org and Thursdays at 8:01 p.m.
I'm John DeSando.
And I'm Kevin Carr.
And this is Cinema Classics. And talk about classic.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking The Little Mermaid.
It is a classic. Do you know it's been so long since the original Little Mermaid came out? It's almost as long as from like the Cinderella era to The Little Mermaid. It's been a while.
It really is durable. And so now it's a live, what would you call this, Kevin? Live action?
This one's live action because they have actual, meat and sinew actors on
Yeah,
screen.
right. And do they have any, I was trying to think, do they have any animated parts of this film?
No, well, they have, it's a lot of CGI.
Yeah.
There's CGI, and of course some of the characters, obviously, like Sebastian the Crab and Flounder the Fish.
Right,
They're all
right. Okay, so we are.
But it's not like the Lion King, which was all done in a computer. So, there was no live action
Good.
Lion
All right,
King.
and when we get to Double Take, I want to talk a little bit about those.
Yeah, sure.
About the history of those.
Oh, yeah.
But here we have a real mermaid,
Mhm.
her prince, yuck, okay, so I know, the handsome prince.
Well, it is this old story.
I
There's
know.
only so much you can do
Gosh,
to
so
massage
lovely, yeah.
that.
I thought this actor looked a little bit too old, even though he's only probably 23.
Well, the actor looks like Peter Brady from the Brady Bunch.
Okay.
Which I took my wife to this press screening, and I leaned over about, into the third act, and I said, that looks like Peter Brady. Now you're not going to be able to unsee it. And she was very mad at me by the end of the night.
It's played by Jonah Howard King, and he does a very good job, nibbles and all.
Yeah, he's okay.
And we do, however, the standout here is Haley Bailey.
Oh, yeah. She's what makes a movie.
Yes.
She absolutely is what makes a movie. When she's on screen, it sizzles. And her performances are fantastic.
Yes, yes. Not only her voice, right?
Yeah.
Which I presume is her real voice.
Yep.
And what about her, Kev, that makes this so good? That's tough when you've got a very fetching animation, a Little Mermaid last time around. How do you do this? How does she pull it off?
Well, it's the inflections. And what's funny is you go back, because I went back and rewatched the original Little Mermaid, and it's not just Jodie Benson's voice in that original movie. Although her voice really does bring the character to life, there's a lot of acting that goes on that she has nothing to do with because it's all animation. It's facial expressions and physical comedy. And I think part of it is, for a role like this, it has to be accessible. And yeah, she's got fins and everything, but she's accessible. She's not, she doesn't feel generic. She's very pretty, but she's also very charming. And she brings you in. There's like almost that eye contact that really helps.
I think the actress is actually 23 years old.
Yes.
She's playing a 16-year-old, would you guess?
No, well, 16 was what the original era was. I don't know if she said her age in this one.
She could be either. And I guess as I look at it, I think, oh, that prince is just a tad too old for her. But
well, it was, Prince time, so.
I know, we love that. So we know that this movie is worth seeing for her alone, and I agree with you. First of all, she's the first brown Little Mermaid.
For the Little Mermaid, it's
Yes.
not the first time they've had a character of color be a Disney princess. I mean, of course, you have, Jasmine was Persian, and of course Tatiana from Princess and the Frog was the very first black Disney princess, and then of course Moana was Pacific Islander, and Mulan. So you've had multi-ethnic Disney princesses before, but this is the first. This is the first time Little Mermaid, and it caused a ruckus because she was known as being red hair and
I know, yeah.
But I'm like, she's a mermaid, so what are you talking about? She doesn't really interact with the sun that much anyway. So it's why are we caring? It's a fictional character.
And actually, I don't even think about it. Once you get a load of her and how naturally she fits into her environment, both under and above the sea.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think she's stunning. And she's bringing something to the film of her own persona that just exudes, just comes out of there. She's not pasteboard character. She is a real live mermaid, as
She-
you like to think.
She is, as you said, the reason to see the movie.
Yes.
She is that good.
Now, some would say Melissa McCarthy's the reason to see this.
Well, she's fine. Ursula, it was kind of like, you know, when Will Smith played the genie in Aladdin. You're going up against an iconic performance, and to Melissa McCarthy's credit, while there's certain things where you're like, I can see her playing Ursula, the shtick is very different than her normal shtick. You know, the original Ursula was this haughty, this almost like aged actress from Broadway that is ready for their close-up or something like that.
Right.
You know, and she had a real husky voice, which Melissa McCarthy doesn't really have. So it was, I think there was a little, they do have some trouble trying to find the right balance for McCarthy, although I think in general she does.
No, and I
good job.
agree. I was a bit conflicted.
Mhm.
I said I had expected her actually to go way much over the top, and she
Yeah.
does not.
Yeah, well, because her over the top is very different.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think by her own standards, she's probably underplaying it.
See, I would have loved if they would have like cast like Harvey Firestein in that role, and put him in like makeup.
Oh, okay, yeah, Proven Drag.
Because that would have been, that's kind of when you watch the original Ursula. That's
It's a good
kind of
point,
what you
yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She may not be enough.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something I hadn't thought about before. Because just having Melissa McCarthy there, you say, oh boy, this is going to be really extreme. This is going to be something. And not, she just underplays it, though she is wicked, not lovable.
She's good. She's
yeah,
good.
yeah, she's okay with that. Here's a peculiar sort of casting.
Yeah.
Yeah, King Triton.
Yeah, I wasn't thrilled with Javier Bardem as King Triton.
I thought it was really odd because I just like him as an actor completely. He gets on the screen and I'm already there. But I was a little bit confused as to whether I thought he did a good job or he was uncomfortable. I don't know.
In general, when you look at his acting style is very held back and reserved. And that works in stuff like No Country for Old Men, or even Dune and Stilgar.
That's a tough comparison.
But or even his character, which as weird as his character was, and as off-putting as his character was in Skyfall, the James Bond movie, all of his stuff's very understated, and he just seemed almost too reserved. If you look at Kenneth Mars' original performances, even though you didn't see him. His vocal inflections, but there was more traditional, I guess you could say.
Oh, Kevin, you are tough. But I bought into him fairly soon.
Mm-hmm.
He's an aging king trying to protect his daughter.
Yeah.
I bought it. The accent, well, you know where did he get that from, but okay.
Well, I think that's his accent.
I know it is. I know it is. But I accepted it. I found it. It worked for me in the end. But it is a strange piece.
Yeah.
And there are others who probably could have done as well, if not better. But so Kev, so what's different about this from the other Little Mermaid iterations that we've had? I mean,
Well, it's
what's
45
new?
minutes longer, that's for sure.
That's
a problem. The length is a problem. Because here's what they did. They've cut a couple songs, and I will never forgive them for cutting Les Poissons, because that's my favorite song in the original one. But I do realize why they cut it, because it would have been a horror show, because it's the chef trying he's preparing fish in front of Sebastian. And I can get where they said, okay, let's back off from that.
Yes.
But like they add something. They do basically what they did with the Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, where they add some songs in there, which are unnecessary. Eric gets his own song, which is fine, but honestly, can you remember anything about the song? I mean, I remember what was going on the screen, but I couldn't remember a lyric
I can't.
or a tune. And when you came out of the original Little Mermaid, you knew all the songs, because it was such a good soundtrack, and they put this new song in, and it was kind of, it's unnecessary, it's kind of pointless, and there's like, they do that a couple times, because they did that with Beauty and the Beast, but the movie's then saved whenever you come back to Ariel, and that's what makes the movie work. And they added a song, this Scuttlebutt song,
Okay.
which is jarring and out of place,
Okay.
because it's a Lin-Manuel Miranda
Oh yes.
rap,
Yeah.
which it just feels, and I know why they did it, and I get it, but I don't know. That one I could have done without.
Kevin, you're a delight, and your memory is just a feast when you come, and the details that you have in your mind are terrific. So we're preparing ourselves to go to Double Take.
Sure.
And then I'd like to talk about some of these live action, whatever you call them, animations.
Yeah.
But before then, Kevin, we have a lot of people out there wondering why these two mature male adults are even talking about this live action drama based on a Disney animation. But I think we both have said it wasn't a loss for us at all. That we liked it. What do you advise our audience, Kevin?
I say go see it. There's a weird amount of hate online for this movie. And I say just go see it for yourself. I think if you like the other remakes, you're going to like this one. It's not perfect, but there's some really great stuff in it.
And I think that there are touches of the Disney excellence here.
Mhm.
It's just as I felt it when I left that theater. I said, this is good movie making. It would be difficult to go much beyond what you had talked about so well, the different songs, trying to massage it a bit. Basically, it's a good story. It's one that has been with us since we've been telling stories. One about how the gods want to be like humans, and how on the other side of the globe, there's something that attracts adventurers like the Little Mermaid, and going to the other side. And people who live down under the sea, they can't understand it. But this is the real adventure motif. And I think that Disney does a good job with it.
Oh yeah.